Romance scammers, as we know, are emotional manipulators when it comes to showering their target victim with love and romance. Whether it be poems, links to romantic songs, singing to you on the phone, or flooding your messenger with sweet messages and emojis, this in turn makes the target victim feel loved, cared for, wanted, and needed. At least that's what the scammer hopes. There is also another side to emotional manipulation. It's called the blame game. Romance scammers, when they ask their target victim for money or gift cards, and the excuse for needing them is something like, I'm trapped on an oil rig or a machine part broke, and if I can't get the money to fix it, I'll lose my job and my contract. That type of excuse opens a door for emotional manipulation, because when a target victim says no or that they can't get the money or afford it, the romance scammer will then place the blame on you, the target victim. Romance scammers will often come back with a response such as, quote, it's your fault the machine is broken. You are costing the company money and my job and contract. I will lose everything because of you. This type of emotional manipulation is especially strong when it involves an imaginary sick child. When a romance scammer using a fake profile claims to have a son or daughter, and as you know, almost all of them have at least one kid and they're always a widow, and that imaginary child is sick, the scammer will often ask you for money for the doctor, for medicine for their child, or emergency surgery. When you stand up and say no, that is again when the scammer goes into manipulation mode and will blame you if this imaginary child, quote, suffers or goes without their life saving medicine. To a lot of people, the stories that they weave seem ridiculous, and as do the requests for money and why they need the money. But to some who are invested in the relationship and don't realize they're talking to a scammer, this request and the victim's inability to fork over cash then turns into the victim actually feeling guilty or bad about the situation. They carry sadness, depression, guilt, and more. And this is when romance scammer they'll do his or her best to make sure you feel bad. They twist the story and put the blame on you, as if it's your fault the machine part broke. It's your fault their child doesn't have their medicine. Then, they tend to lay on the manipulation even more by questioning your true feelings, using excuses such as if you really cared and loved me, you'd help me, and more. At the end of the day, this sadly has become the reason why many lose money to a romance scammer. The victims who come to me telling me that they gave over money that they didn't have simply because the scammer made them feel guilty, made them feel like it was their fault. Keep in mind, you're not responsible for someone else's child you've never met or been involved with in person, and you're not responsible for a broken machine part. You don't work for that company, and any genuine company will pay for a part that they need. They won't demand the employee pay for it out of their pocket, or pay for oil rig parts or broken machine parts and more. Companies have insurance, petty cash, and spending accounts. The same can be said if you're talking to someone who says they're in the military. You don't pay for their leave. They don't pay for their leave. You don't pay to talk to them through iTunes cards or gift cards. That's simply not how they work. If someone you're in an online relationship makes you feel guilty because you said no to sending money or gift cards, block them. It'll almost always be a scammer in disguise, using emotional manipulation and more to try and make you feel guilty and fork over the cash. Block and move on. Don't feel guilty, don't feel bad, and most importantly, stay safe.